Satan represents all of the so-called sins as they all lead to physical, mental, or emotional gratification. Okay, so what are the seven deadly sins? When LaVey says that Satan represents all of the so-called sins, he is specifically talking about the seven deadly sins, which are, and I had to write these down because obviously I'm not a Christian, lust, gluttony, greed, sloth, wrath, envy, and pride. Now, what you have to understand is these are, when not taken into excess, are motivating factors to help one succeed and to achieve. Lust, for example, is the procreative urge. Gluttony is simply eating more than one needs to live. Greed, of course, is simply wanting more than you have or more than you need. Sloth is just chilling, you know. Wrath is when somebody pisses you off, you get angry. Okay, envy is being jealous, which causes you to achieve what others have. Pride, of course, is being prideful. However, what you need to know, there's a difference between lust, there's a difference between indulgence and compulsion. There's a difference between rational self-interest and destructive self-interest. You shouldn't harm others to get what you need. You need to respect their rights. Okay, now with pride, there's a big difference between pride and hubris. With gluttony, for example, there's a difference between eating a little more than you need and eating to the point where you become a bulbous, fat hog that needs to be rolled in and out of rooms like on Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Sloth, for example, now sloth becomes a very negative aspect when you're doing nothing but sleeping, okay? But sloth in the sense, for example, in the 8 Laws of Health, Ellen White's 8 Laws of Health, the Seventh-day Adventist prophet, relaxation is very important to the health. Now, what's the difference between the 8 Laws of Health and the Holy Bible? 8 Laws of Health calls rest and rest or relaxation. It doesn't call it sloth. Okay, so it's all a matter of semantics and understanding how these things are being utilized. Anything taken into excess is a bad thing. But to say that one should never be lustful, never be gluttonous, never be greedy, never be slothful, never be envious, and never be prideful would be the undoing of humanity. And that's what that means. Now, the next statement I will speed on through, which is Satan represents he's the best friend of the church because he's kept it in business all these years. Now, what you have to understand is without Satan, without a scapegoat of some kind, Christianity or any religion, you have to remember when LaVey talks about Satan, he's not talking about the adversary of Christianity. He's talking about the adversary of supernatural religions based on crap. That's what you have to understand. Satan is not just the adversary of Christianity. He's the adversary of Buddhism. He's the adversary of Hinduism. He's the adversary of all false religions, all false gods, and he is a symbol. He is not an anthropomorphic being. Satan represents, you will notice that in the satanic statements, he represents this, he represents that. He is not these things, okay? He is a representation. He is what we have come to call these things, okay? So, what we need to take into consideration with this is, how is he the best friend of the church? Well, he's the best friend of the church because the church has used Satan as a means to terrorize the populations of the world into succumbing to the domesticating force of Christianity, of these various other religions. Every religion has a devil. Well, not every religion. Judaism added a devil recently. But and it's actually interesting to note that Satan in the Jewish religion is still an angel. In Christianity, in Christianity and Islam, he has become the devil. If you read the Bible, there's numerous instances of him acting as basically he's like the attorney general. It was Satan's job to trick people into sinning so that God could root out the true believers from the sinners. But that's the close of these videos. I'm going to be moving into, I believe, the satanic sins, but I may start breaking down the doctrine of fascism by Benito Mussolini in the meantime. Ciao.